Hey boys and girls, I'm back from a nearly month-long trip to my other house in Fort Myers, Florida. Land where old people die and young people get skin cancer. There's a saying about Florida. It's for the newlyweds and the soon-to-be-deads. And you probably never heard about this before, but Southwest Florida is a very humid place. It's technically the tropics. It's a great place to get crotch rot. You don't know what that is. I'll never forget a Hispanic guy in Russia who lived in Southern California. His greatest horror story, and he put his hand on my shoulder, was, he said, "Man, whatever you do, never get crotch rot." I think I had something similar to that 5 years ago when I was really good shape, and anyway, something about a $4,000 Cannondale bike and spandex biker shorts and forgetting to wash them that evening. Florida's a hoot. Man, was it hot as hell. It was hotter than Satan's crotch in Florida. Oh, by the way, how do you like my shirt, huh? It's hard to see it on my big fat ass, right? Well, this being my stomach. Really neat shirt. I got a couple of them. It was a record hottest November. Yeah, hottest November on record at my other house in Fort Myers. I picked up and ate a lot of exotic fruit. Not food, but fruit. I'm a hardcore not a fruitarian, but I am a fruit lover. As fat as I am, believe it or not, I don't actually like sweets. I don't eat sweets, which is hard to believe, right? Anyway, getting to the point of this video, I has Fuji. Well, I got a hold of a hardcore Fuji shooter that lived just north of Naples, and I was able to use and test nearly every Fuji lens except for 3, and they were, one was the 14mm, but I've already tested that one up here anyway, and 2 telephotos. So I'll be reviewing a couple more Fuji lenses. Of course, I made a video last week stating that, I bought this camera, specifically the X-T1, which is the best value over the X-T1. As a manual experience, this really is what Nikon shooters asked Nikon to make, and of course they came out with the absurdly expensive DF, which I could afford anything. I mean, I could buy it. I don't give a damn about the price, even though it is too damn high. Yeah, it's made in Japan. Yeah, it's well made, but so are these, but it was not a truly simplistic experience, and these are not really simplistic. They are, however, simple. But the Fuji X-T1 is best value. I ended up getting the Fuji X-T10 is best value, excuse me. I ended up also getting a Fuji X-T1. I'm actually loving the vertical grip a lot more than I thought it was. Of course, I'm a total vertical grip whore. I love all vertical grips, but the actual ergonomics of the grip is absolutely fantastic. Of course, the grip is made in China, whereas the camera itself is made in Japan. But I'm going to start reviewing a few Fuji lenses here. No, I'm not making a switch. Now, my Nikon stuff is not going anywhere. I actually picked up a few more Nikkor lenses in Florida. But the next lens I'll be reviewing is the 27mm Fujifilm pancake lens, and then a couple other what I consider to be must-have Fuji pieces of glass. But I still stick with my prior premise that I'm going to be using Metabones adapters on these mostly / exclusively, and Zeiss lenses, or some nice Nikkor AIS lenses. These are wonderful little cameras. My friend of 30+ years who could afford anything. He's very wealthy. I wish I had his money issues. But anyway, he picked up a Fuji X-T10. He's had it now for about 2.5 weeks. He's absolutely loving it. He's been out shooting the piss out of everything. It's an exquisite little camera. I am loving the Fuji X-T1. The weather sealing actually doesn't mean anything. As I told you in another video, no camera is sealed against pervasive weather, only invasive, and you need to know the difference. I've already made a video about that. Excuse me. I've made so many videos, some of which I forgot that I've already made, or sometimes I didn't elaborate enough on them. But anyway, I'm just going to let you know that I'm going to be reviewing some Fuji glass. I've already tested all but 3 of them. Well, 2 of them down in Florida, a couple telephotos, and the 14mm I got a chance to test for a brief period, but I chose not to get it for a few reasons which I'll elaborate on later. been doing a lot of shooting lately and not doing anything exclusionary of the Fuji X-T10, but just because I happened to pick up this one, even though I've tested both of these prior to getting both of them. Been shooting a bit more of the Fuji X-T1, but still the X-T10 is absolutely a best value. I've gone over the specific rational logic behind it, and as is the case, you know, the gear lust is obviously and should be empirically so directed at the X-T1, but you still, of course, must be pragmatic and practical and ask yourself, do I need manual dials here if I can use a sub-command dial here rather than a top dial? I mean, is the magnesium body, magnesium chassis nicer? Yeah, it is. Who gives a damn? You're not going to hammer nails with either one of these. Is the viewfinder a little bit wider? Yeah, it is, but not that much. Both of these, compared to any camera, whether it be a Nikon or Canon or anybody else, these are like looking through a frigging porthole on the side of a ship, whereas everything else is like looking through a toilet paper tube, actually worse than that. So this is where Fuji definitely excels. And I do not believe in an either-or fallacy. You know, I don't believe that you're either a hardcore Nikon shooter or you're hardcore Canon. I mean, you know, I got a motorcycle for doing motorcycle stuff that cars can't do, and I've got cars for doing stuff that motorcycles aren't good for, like hauling crap and, you know, slamming on the gas at 100 miles an hour and hitting down the road. Well, you can do that on a motorcycle too, but I mean, not safely anyway, and I've done it on both. I've had a couple motorcycle accidents myself, which is why I don't ride anymore. But my point being is they each have their place. I mean, it's not like you should have only cars or only motorcycles, and it certainly is the case with these two mirrorless jobs here. Specifically in relationship to my Nikon stuff, which is going nowhere. I shot about 80% with my Nikon equipment, and I shot my ass off, by the way, over the past 3.5 weeks. I mean, my feet are still killing me. I did a lot of shooting. But these are wonderful little cameras. I'm just saying that I'm going to do some more in-depth reviews on them, get into specifics, because specificity is divinity. Simplicity is divinity also, but the specifics is where the devil is at, and knowing some of the specifics is illuminating as far as you making a rational decision on what to get or what not to get, as far as placing rational thought over what you actually need versus what you want. Now, anybody that has a desire in their eyeballs will obviously lust after the sexiest girl in the room. As is the case, someone would obviously choose, well, which of these would you rather have? Well, I'd rather have the X-T1. I mean, it's got more pretty dials on it, it's made in Japan, and, you know, it's water sealed, and it's a bit sexier with a wider viewfinder. That's understandable, but practicality and rationality dictates that for the cost of the Fuji X-T1. Of course, they're both on sale right now. The Fuji X-T1 is the better value. However, it is also the case that the Fuji the X-T10 is the better value. It is also the case that the Fuji X-T1 currently is on sale for $1,000. It is $300 off right now. So that's something else to consider. Both are great choices. But anyway, I'll be doing some reviews of some Fuji glass. I'm obviously engaging in the logomachy right now. That is the term of the day that you should certainly learn, logomachy, because I'm engaging in it right now, because I flap my lips too much sometimes. Anyway, I'm completely wasted, worn out from this trip, 1,000 miles on the road, and I was just running my ass off all day long. I pulled my back out in Florida. I sunburned my ass a few times. I sweated my ass off, especially on my Nikon DSLRs, including the Fuji X-T10. There's probably still some salt sweat in it somewhere. Anyway, thanks for watching, and normal videos will resume ASAP. Just give me a day or two to recuperate, please. Thank you.